I mean, she's very hard to replace. At the same time, I would expect there will be a degree of continuity because Scholz, who is the likely new chancellor, has rather similar ideas about Europe. For him, Europe, I believe, is very high on the agenda, maybe even more so than for Merkel. At the same time, the challenges are different. As was just said, I think one of the big challenges is achieving common views, getting to common views about core issues on the one hand, or very basic issues like the rule of law, and then common views about the big challenges lying before us, the transformation towards decarbonization, digitization, what to do about that. These are huge challenges, and if the Europeans do not achieve common views and policies on this, the future will be difficult. So I think there's a big task lying not just before the next Chancellor Scholz. It is a task for all EU member states, and this is very challenging given the divisions we are seeing at the moment.
Do you think that the European Union is more or less united than they were at the beginning of Merkel's tenure?
I'm afraid it is less united. Some people expected that after Brexit, there would be fewer divisions, but what we see now is rather deep divisions, in particular between some of the Eastern European member states, Hungary and Poland, and the rest of the EU. At the same time, there have been improvements like those seen during the COVID crisis. The reaction, the introduction of Next Generation EU was a sign of unity, but there are deep divisions. And these need to be addressed. I think they can be addressed, so there's no need to be overly pessimistic. But the idea that once Britain would be out, there would be unity and consistency in Europe, maybe that was never realistic, but it's certainly not what we see now.
Well, on that note, how significant, in your view, is this dispute between Warsaw and Brussels, and what are the potential implications? What's the magnitude of the potential impact here?
I think this dispute is very significant because it touches the basis, really, of what the EU is. So the rule of law, one would say, is not negotiable. At the same time, I think we need to acknowledge that there can be different views. I think what this points at is that maybe the future of European integration is one with even more diversified and multi-speed aspects. But I mean, it is pretty clear that Poland cannot be an EU member in the long term without accepting the basic ingredients of the rule of law. I think what that means is we need to continue the dialogue. And let's not forget, in Poland, a large part of the population supports EU membership, and I also believe a large part of the population wants the rule of law. Sometimes time helps, so I think it's important to not just accept the situation in Poland, but at the same time continue the dialogue.